Hey everybody, how's it going? This is the Fandom Empire YouTube channel, and officially, I suppose, preview episode, episode 00, if you will, of the Fandom Empire Star Wars podcast. Apologies, I'm fixing my camera because not only is the YouTube studio for this, not our studio, but the studio that you run the software on screwing up. So Streamlabs. So we're trying to work through that. The date is December the 22nd, 2020. We're getting ready to dive headfirst into the holidays as much as we can with everything that's going on. Boy, do we have a show for you. We're going to sit down and have a blast talking about the final episode of The Mandalorian for quite some time, apparently. So fun stuff. But without further ado, enough of this ugly mug and on to the other guys, the guys you all came to see. First up, Cornholy. I'm sorry, Tommy B. How's it going, man?
That's not very nice.
I never said it. Like, you can't be like, you're not very nice when I'm like, I never said I was nice.
Douchebag. I'm hanging in there, buddy. It's been a busy day. Been a busy day. Going to be busy tomorrow, but I'm hanging in there. How about you?
Scary moment. Jade's talking about it in the chat. Won't really address it on air, but apologize for being late. Actually, I guess for normal viewers, we're actually surprisingly on time. But we were supposed to start half an hour early tonight. But honestly, I just can't wait to talk about this episode and get everyone's opinion on it and dive into it. It's going to be a bit of a different episode. We're not doing a top 5 tonight. We're not doing a council tonight. We're literally just talking this episode, this season, and what comes next. And then straight into the Death Watch. So we have just sort of an open floor of discussion for the next hour or so, and then we get into the Death Watch. Also joining us this evening, they are the hosts of the returning Rogue Sons of Star Wars podcast. It's Thaden and the other guy. What's happening, guys?
I don't know.
I thought
everybody speak at once.
I thought I'd throw a curveball and let him speak first, and it didn't work.
I didn't know what to say after I was laughing about the other guy thing.
We're doing good. We just did our episode, released it on Sunday, and it's like a 2-hour. It's a 2-hour episode. We talked about our top 10 favorite Mando characters. We talked about a little bit about the finale as well, and we did a draft where we drafted the 10 new Star Wars shows to make our own 5-show lineups, which is cool because normally we do a draft, we draft characters, so this was a little bit different.
Don't give your whole list away, but what was number 10?
The number 10 was the Bad Batch.
Really?
Yeah, neither of us picked it.
For me, it was Andor.
So for him, it was Andor.
That was the last one I had written on my list, but
Yeah.
then Kieran took it quick, and I ended up with the Bad Batch, which is weird because I'm excited for both of those shows. Like, pretty excited.
Yeah.
I'm going to assume that Thaden got a steal on the Boba Fett show in the late rounds.
We didn't do the Boba Fett show.
We didn't do the Boba Fett one.
It wasn't
That would have been
part of
11
the 10
shows.
show lineup, so. I don't know. Actually, it wouldn't have been last. It wouldn't have been last on my list, so that's probably interesting.
I was actually gonna, if we included that, I was gonna try to get you to let me go first, so I could force you to take the Boba Fett show by picking everything else first. But that didn't happen.
Can I give a quick shout out?
As soon as we introduce Johnny, the floor is yours.
Oh, but Johnny's not cool.
Johnny's now introduced. Johnny, how's it going? Oh, you're doing great. All right, Kieran, take it away.
You guys suck.
Got him.
Just horrible people.
Yeah.
And Kieran's just jealous of my fantasy football success.
Fluke.
Wait a minute. I believe I have a trophy at my house.
Oh my goodness, you got it from me.
Yeah, I know.
And he got it. Wait, no, did Kieran win after I left?
No, I did.
You did.
Yeah.
So then he got it from me.
Yeah.
I'm not in it anymore. One and done.
We are the three current.
And I don't even know how football works.
Well, if you join this league, you could probably win.
Amen to that.
Be just as good as Mark. Probably even better.
All right, so can I do it now?
Yeah, floor is yours, man. Floor is yours.
Oh, yeah, I just want to give a
kick
shout
it.
out to Ian Perkins. He is a true Jedi, and I just met him earlier on in a Facebook group of I think it's called the Jedi Order or something like that. But he's a true Jedi. Just wanted to give him a shout out.
So, well, first of all, Ian, welcome to the channel. Be sure to click that like button. Looks like this. Looks like a thumb, man. And hit that subscribe button. Hit the notification bell because, well, we're in lockdown city up here in the good old Canada come December 26th. Ontario, whatever. And so I'm going to be off work for a bit, which sucks. But it also means we're going to have more pre-produced content on the channel, and we're going to have a focus on some Star Wars content. I'll be pulling each one of these guys in for some different videos as we go here, some shorter 5 to 10 minute videos. So keep up to date with that. Also, this is the last, I guess, not even really the last. It's the preview episode of the Fandom Empire Star Wars podcast, which you will be able to find on Anchor, Apple Podcasts, and everywhere else, as well as the YouTube channel. This is the show going forward. The intro will stay the same. You'll have some different cuts and intros into different segments come January. When's the return date? The 7th? 6th? Something like that? I don't know.
The Tuesday?
5th, maybe. Maybe it's the 5th. I think it's the 5th. Yeah, the 5th sounds right. So you'll have that, and our Star Wars to sort of lend tribute to our old show, Star Wars Wastelands. The Star Wars trivia portion of the show will become Star Wars Wastelands trivia, and what'll happen is there'll be 3 different categories. One will be the Death Watch, so the Death Watch will be a category now rather than the full game. The other one will be on screen, which will be movies and or cartoons or live action shows. And it could be anything. It could be like, so it doesn't have to be deaths. And then the other one will be games and literature. And again, it doesn't have to be deaths. So only the deaths would come in Death Watch. And when we do Death Watch, there'll be one question from each of the Death Watch categories. So if you get Death Watch, you'll get one movie, one game or literature, and what's the other one? Help me out here, guys.
What?
Movies?
Movie, literature, video games.
Yeah, so you get one of each. Sorry, you'll get one of each if you get the Death Watch category going forward. Bloody hell. So I said it. I'm actually I'm being told, one, my hair looks like shit, which it does. This is why I always wear a hat. And 2, yes, I did steal Jade's mug. And if you're not a fan of this isn't going to be PG. It says, I'm a ray of fucking sunshine, which is about how the last hour has gone here.
Also pretty accurate in general.
About right.
I mean, you're not wrong. You're not wrong. All right, guys, let's dive into this. Star Wars: The Mandalorian, Chapter 16, The Rescue. I don't even know where to begin. So I'm just.
I didn't like it.
I'm gonna say this. I think that. Oh, see, I don't even want to start there. You know what? I'm gonna do I'm gonna hand the ball off because, like, I just don't know where to start. So I'm gonna hand it off to Johnny. Johnny, you have a story you want to tell how you got spoiled.
I did.
And then maybe just talk a little bit about the episode, and we'll just sort of anybody butt in, free for all. We're not going to be like, hey, this person talk, that person talk, this person talk. Just butt in where you want to butt in, and we'll go from there.
It's all right, gentlemen. I'm going to take you back in the.
All right, we're butting in, and
come on. We're gonna go in the way back machine to Friday morning. That's right, Friday morning. Not even 12 hours after the episode has hit the airwaves. And I'm doing the good thing. I haven't watched it yet, and I'm not planning to watch it until, the weekend or later that day or at some point between then and now. So I'm doing the appropriate thing. I'm staying off Facebook. I'm staying in specifically moderated Facebook group chats that aren't spoiler-free, that are moderated by people that actually keep all that on track. And I'm staying off of all the places where one should avoid if they're trying to remain spoiler-free. Now, I'm thinking to myself, there's a handful of places on the internet that a man can go where he's not going to be spoiled, right? Now, you can go to your sports sites, you can go to your wrestling sites, but avoid the entertainment sites. Well, most of them anyway. But there's one specific genre of entertainment sites that you think should be spoiler-free, right?
I think I know where you're going with
Well,
this.
apparently they're not.
Yeah.
Because
Is it fantasy football? You were talking about that earlier.
no, I did
Fantasy
not get
something.
spoiled on a fantasy football site. However, I was looking for an entertainment of a certain genre, and I'm thinking it's safe here. I'm not going to get spoiled from Star Wars because who is going to this type of website to get Star Wars spoilers, right?
Was the title Luke Skywalker fucks everyone?
It was not. It was not. However, this particular site, it's a user-based site, and it features blog posts by authors because it's literature-based. Because I'm sophisticated that way. And,
Okay, we're getting a little too technical now.
and I'm looking through the titles, looking for a specific story to read, and I see this blog post, Luke fucking Skywalker. That's it. Luke fucking Skywalker. Now, this person had written stories
Jared
about.
was right.
This person had written stories.
It's not wrong, I guess.
This person had written a Mandalorian-based story in the past. So immediately, Luke Skywalker. Great. Now, I don't believe I mentioned the specific type of website this is. Of course, this was an adult entertainment website.
Probably just skip that part, Johnny.
Literature.
I'm a single dude.
Johnny,
You were watching
Have a
porn?
Mr. Big, and
Well, I was
will-
reading it, okay?
You have a Mr. Big, and I will take over for you now.
You know what? See, that's fitting. You handed him a Mr. Big, which I'm sure is what he refers to himself as, but the Mr. Big's actually really little.
It was not.
Really
Why does this happen every week? We're just going to have a quick show, talk about Mando, and then later we're like, so Johnny's cock is really small. I just want to tell everybody.
See, Sean is just jealous because it actually goes back to.
It
We could take
It
this on a
goes
tangent,
back?
but we're not going to go on that tangent on air.
It took
But
a
I'll tell you
really
about it
long
off air.
time to get to Johnny's dong while talking about porn.
So yes, I was spoiled that Luke Skywalker was Grogu's master on a porn site.
Oh my God, was that the title?
Literature.
Luke makes the first order.
Johnny, you're making me drink, man. Like, legitimately. Down the Bacardi Lemon, so.
Oh my God. Well, we're probably losing.
I'm
people
sorry.
on the show right now, so maybe
I'm
we should
accused
talk
of being
about-
sophisticated, but you just said Bacardi Lemon.
Can we just talk about the Mandalorian?
how
So,
about
Johnny,
Star
what do you
Wars?
think of the actual episode? Well, I'm, two girls, one cup. Oh, you mean Star Wars?
Don't talk about the porn, Johnny.
I have sophisticated tastes. My porn is not 2 girls, 1 cup. Thank you very much.
Literature.
I don't know. It involved Luke and Grogu. So
Oh.
What? I don't know. That's
that's
just
what
wrong.
found.
All right, guys.
That is.
I'm going to work.
Someone get the
Anyway.
lube.
Oh man.
There was no Star Wars. Well, I mean, there is Star Wars porn on this site, but I didn't read any Star Wars porn on that site. At least not then.
Ian says, Misa think Luca will
Anyway.
train Grogu. That's pretty accurate. Anyways, Johnny, what do you think of the episode in general, man?
Well, I watched it Friday. I watched it Saturday because life happened and I just never got around to it on Friday. So I watched it on Saturday. Right?
I never got around to it. I was busy all Friday.
Matt Whitfield.
Okay, that's not what.
Because life happened. I took this blue pill and it just wouldn't go down.
Let me just
Johnny's
say,
eating these
sometimes life comes at you fast.
Matt Whitfield in the chat says Johnny was looking for Jar Jar porn.
Ew. If I was looking for porn, it was to get myself aroused, not to decrease it. Okay.
Woo.
I see Jar
It's a
Jar.
hell of a preview episode, boys.
This is a spicy episode.
I think we're giving one people a preview on something that they weren't expecting.
Why are we live?
This is not an XXX show, by the way, people.
Well, Matt is just loving this in the chat. He's dying.
And just so we're clear, Johnny's real nickname is Mr. Teeny Weenie to bring you back to old days.
Excuse me, sir. That's
Anyways,
one of the many things I called you.
The episode when you finally managed to come down from the blue pill.
Okay, I don't need a blue pill. Thank you very much.
How'd you like the episode, Johnny?
Oh, it got me hard.
I actually think the real episode did get a lot of people.
Yeah, I mean...
I don't even remember how the episode started now that I'm like... And I watched it like an hour ago.
I was watching Campy's review on it.
They're chasing...
Oh, yeah, no.
Shit, what the fuck were they?
A space battle that actually looks like a space battle.
They were chasing the
space
Lambda.
battle was awesome.
Yes, it was epic, the way it should be done. Fucking sequels.
I'm sorry, you can do space battles that look good on a TV budget?
We're never going to get on track.
All right, I'm taking it. I'm taking it. All right, here we go.
Shut everyone else's mics off.
You had a chance, sir, and you couldn't talk. You just had to say how hard it got you. All right. So, look.
We could discuss some of the things you said in the chat.
First of all,
that's actually pretty
the Tidarian shuttle, come on. That's like basically everybody pictured Luke just taking that as his own vessel after Return of the Jedi. We would later find out that he did not. I just was blown. First of all, little nitpick here. That first planet we're on, I don't know if any of you guys know where the hell that is. One thing that Rogue One got right is, look, I know it's Star Wars and they don't like to put up the planet names, but like take 2.5 seconds and just put the planet name in the bottom right-hand corner or the bottom left-hand corner so we know where the fuck we are.
I mean, the one good thing Rogue One got right?
Rogue One got more than one good thing right.
The one good thing they got right before the last 2 minutes of the show?
Oh, boy. Go away. Go watch some porn.
Now while we're on air, I have taste.
Look, the whole episode got me. I was a little disappointed in the length. Again, you know, I prefer long ones. This was a shorter one. And, Thaden...
See you later, guys.
Literally, Thaden started giggling. Oh, my God.
You just kept going with it. You said
I couldn't help it. Okay.
Keep going.
The space battle I thought was awesome. I love that he had the ion cannon. That was a blast from the past. That was cool. Not really sure how he docked to get on the ship, but you know, I don't really know how that worked, but I dug it. I dug the meetup in the cantina. Bo-Katan was a hell of a lot more hostile this time, a little more like the Bo-Katan we know. And I mean, you had Sasha Banks doing a jetpack DDT, so that was interesting. I just you know, why don't we break the episode down in order, guys, and we'll get to the Luke stuff eventually. So they, you know, I love that part of the episode because, excuse me, I felt like there was almost some romantic tension between Din and Bo, very subtly in the cantina. I'm not saying, this is Padme and Anakin. It's almost like a different type, like a camaraderie sort of thing.
So it wasn't awkward?
So
I think I get what you mean.
No, I think I do look at those two as a potential ship. You know, later on, they're also similar age too.
Did you just say ship?
Ship, that's right.
Are you a teenage girl?
Yep. And so stay the hell away from me. So anyway,
don't you be hating on the ship.
After making a Padme and Anakin joke, you're gonna say to stay away from you?
Motherfucker.
I dug it. I dug the exchange between Boba Fett and Bo-Katan, and who knows where the hell Boba Fett takes off to.
Well, I guess we know a little bit about where he eventually goes.
Eventually, yeah, but that has to be after when you factor the armor. But we're getting ahead of ourselves.
Yeah, no, I just really felt like the beginning of the show, basically from when the episode first launches to the point where they arrive on the ship, where they're they're playing cat and mouse, and I thought all that was really badass. I thought it was a really good table setter. We didn't waste any time. I was I thought there was a chance they might go to Camino, but they didn't. They just used the ship, which was obviously more affordable because the set's already been built. And I just dug what they did and like how they take the Tidarian shuttle down in I love that whole part. And honestly, one of my favorite shots of this entire season. And I usually don't go, ham over ships and stuff. But when that TIE fighter launches from that shuttle, that was a badass shot. That was cinematic quality shot. The way it comes out there, he just yanks on the controller and it just flies out. And it was good shit. What did everybody think of the just the setup for this episode, or the setup of the first act of the episode?
It's funny. It goes super quick. That they're just there and then they're having the standoff with the guys in the professor. What's the doctor's name?
Persian or something.
I always forget his name.
Persian.
He should be the something because everyone else is the something.
The cloning guy.
Pretty much. I thought it went quickly to that, but I liked it. And Cara Dune was, or Gina Carano was really good in that scene. I liked how she acted out, and I really think she stood out a lot in this episode.
I thought she was really good in this episode.
She was fantastic in that part. And of course her gun didn't work again, so she used her muscles to beat the shit out of people. But she also has some great lines at the end, but we'll get to that. I love the TIE fighter launching as well, because if you play Squadrons, you launch like that at the very start of the game. And,
really? That's cool.
You see, you're a TIE fighter in the very first level, and you're docked, and you have to launch from the same sort of thing that picks up the TIE fighters. And you see that in you see that in I think it's what's the game with the clone? What's the game with Merrick? Force Unleashed. You see those things in Force Unleashed, and you have to destroy the TIE fighters to get extra points in it, and it's just kind of a thing that you see all over, and I think it's cool. So that was neat. And the space battle was amazing. It was awesome. I mean, it wasn't obviously a very big scale battle, but it was cool. And I liked Boba Fett's line as well, where he was saying just put your shields on, I'll make it look good. That whole thing was set up really well, and I enjoyed it.
Time out. Hang on. Can you repeat that?
No,
I was having a hard time hearing.
You know what? I'm going to tell you this. I'm a big man on New Year's resolutions. I really like to have them, and I will not. This is what it's going to be. I'm not going to hate on Boba Fett anymore. Just going to give it up.
So I'm predicting January 2nd.
We'll see.
Well,
Yeah,
usually when I
resolutions.
I'll try. I'll try my best. You
What
know what?
your average New Year's resolutions last?
Do or do not.
It depends. Sometimes I get in really good shape and I last lots of months and I do really good. And sometimes I quit pop and it 3 days after, and then I have a Coke.
So this is going to be one of those 3-day ones.
Well, we'll see. We'll see what happens. I really do New Year's resolutions every year.
You do?
I do. I really I really do one every year at least, and I'm mildly successful with them. And you know what? The part about Boba Fett coming back to the series is what bothers me. The actual character doesn't bother me. So I'm just gonna give up on it, and I'm gonna be okay with him. And I enjoyed his line, and I've enjoyed all his part in the episodes that weren't when he fought and teleported and did a bunch of weird shit, and they did all that crazy Power Ranger shit in that one episode. But anyways, thought he was great in this episode. Thought the setup was awesome. I was really excited pretty much from the start to the end of the episode. So that's my take on the start of the episode.
Anybody else?
I was super happy to continue with the Boba Fett thing when, as soon as he speaks in the bar, Bo-Katan looks up and you can tell she recognizes the voice, and she doesn't say anything right away. So that's for us nerds who know who Boba Fett is, and that was really cool. That was just one little part of that, but it was super cool to hear that. I love when Star Wars feels like it's actually one big connected universe, and that kind of does that.
I mean, she got around acknowledging it pretty quick, though.
She was fantastic in this episode, too.
Loved her.
Awesome.
Bo-Katan. And
yeah.
When you watch the episode the second time, I don't know if you guys watched it the second time yet,
I did.
The scene at the end where, talks about the conflict with the Darksaber, you see a whole bunch more looks that she gives that make more sense when you've already seen it. It's pretty cool.
And the way she words stuff, she's like when they're going to what's his name, Gideon's ship. She's like, I don't care what happens to Gideon as long as he surrenders to me, which is like she wants literally exactly that. He has to surrender specifically to her, not to them, which is cool. A little bit of foreshadowing.
I mean, as long as you know the history of the Darksaber, you know why. You know, like there's no surprise to me exactly what she's doing.
Yeah.
That has never happened before with the Darksaber. Well, I guess
we know it has to be traded in combat, so...
No, we don't.
Well, I mean, it's not new.
Well,
Sabine gave it to Bo-Katan.
I was going to say, I think...
fine with it.
I know we're jumping ahead here, but everyone's like, oh, she realizes she has to fight Din. I don't think that's what she's realizing at all. I think she's coming to this realization, oh, maybe I never really had it in the first place.
I mean, because we don't know how she got it originally, do we?
Yes, we do. Sabine literally handed it to her, which is why everyone's like...
But she also knew the rules back then in Rebels.
Yeah, the way I was reading that was like... or trying to rationalize that was like Maul stole the lightsaber and Sabine kind of got it back, but she didn't beat Maul in combat. She just grabbed it, like picked it up. And then Bo-Katan probably lost it in combat, so she has to get it back in combat.
Steal the lightsaber.
Or he didn't steal it. No,
I think
Vizsla legitimately.
Yeah,
for me, I think
Sabine
it's more that
kind of steals it from him.
I think for me anyway, I rationalize it more in the sense that she was gifted it the first time, and she couldn't unite Mandalore. She didn't succeed in her goal.
That's true too.
And now she knows that in order to properly use the power of the Darksaber, she has to attain it properly.
It's true what Moff Gideon said, right? That power is in the story, right? Mm-hmm. If everyone finds out that she was just given it, they're gonna be like, oh, well.
The first time somebody asked how you got it, and your story is it was given to me, you lose that element. Yeah. Whereas I defeated this person in combat, you know.
I think you're going to see... we'll talk about what could happen later, but in a nutshell, I think everyone's like, oh, we're going to see Bo versus Din, and I don't think that's going to happen at all. I think there's going to be a lot of tension whenever the hell we do see a Season 3. But I think she's going to reluctantly support him, and he's the one with the story right now, and I do really think there's something to be had between those two characters and uniting Mandalore. And
I think she's going to come to realize that the power isn't being the person, it's being the right hand.
Is it bad that I thought you were going to say she's going to come to realize she likes the dick? I was pretty sure that was going to come out of your mouth there. Just saying.
I mean, there is, like, if they go down that route, I wouldn't necessarily be surprised, but...
She can be Baby Yoda's mom.
If she's anything
this
like
is on Disney Plus. They ain't going down that route.
If she's anything like her character... If she's anything like her character in Battlestar, she's had some already.
I don't think it being on Disney Plus precludes them from going down a romance route.
No, definitely not.
Don't worry, Johnny. You can read about that later on your sites.
Thaden, do you have anything else on the setup to this episode to when they first board the ship?
Not on the opening, I don't think. I liked the opening quite a bit.
I love seeing the ion cannon and seeing the Lambda shuttle. That was I enjoyed that.
It was awesome. I loved it. Tommy, Johnny, anything on the opening, guys?
I already went.
It's all been said already.
You finished.
Yeah.
It's all you have. Nothing you want to point out, Tommy? Nothing at all.
It's all been said already. We gotta keep moving. We can talk about this whole episode.
We got plenty of time. We're good.
No, we don't.
Oh my god.
Yeah. When is Kieran done? 10:30.
Yes, we have an hour. Another 40 minutes. All right, so let's move on. They're aboard the shuttle. Basically, we'll talk about from when once they get on the shuttle to when the Dark Troopers are trying to come through the door. I loved a lot of what we've seen here. First of all, 4 female Star Wars characters kicking ass at the same time. And it's not like I noticed it right away. I had to be like, oh, right, this is 4 gals going in there kicking fucking ass. This isn't...
Someone else pointed that out to me.
Yeah, I told that to Thaden on Rogue Sons, and but same thing. I didn't really think of it until after it was happening. So, which means it didn't feel forced at all, which is cool because I know that Disney has sometimes been criticized for forcing
Infinity War. Yeah, Infinity War definitely forced their moment.
Yeah, which I was still totally cool with, but some people aren't.
I just thought it was badass. I loved I gotta say, for as much hate as she gets, and I understand hating her personal choices, but Gina Carano, aka Cara Dune, in this episode, I thought it was her strongest episode she's had yet in the series. I thought she was badass. And I love
her line when she was like, "Oh goody, one X-wing" was great too.
How many times have we seen a gun jam in Star Wars, by the way, in the actual movies or live action show?
Cara Dune happens all the time.
But like, I think that's it
for some reason.
Right? Like, I can't think of another time.
I was gonna say, I think Mandalorian is even the first series that's ever really acknowledged.
It's usually the hyperdrive that doesn't work. Not
I was gonna say
it happens to Mando.
I was gonna say I think the Mandalorian is the first series that has acknowledged that the weapons aren't infinite capacity to just keep shooting.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
I can't think of any example where everyone's ever
even
had
the
to.
Games do that.
I don't think I've ever thought of an example where somebody's had to like release the heat sink and cool down the gun or change out the energy clip or anything like that ever.
I know. Like when it comes to the ships, they often do that. But yeah, when it comes to
even the Clone Wars, I don't think I ever saw them. Like they'd carry around the ammo crates.
I can imagine that though, just because Clone Wars was such a. I mean, it was a kids show. It was enjoyable for adults as well, but it was a kids show, so they'd spend time doing.
No, what I'm saying, just in general, like you'd think watching the trench battles, if you had so many of those type, you'd think eventually you'd see a clone trooper or someone just kind of giving the upward chuck motion like they're reloading a clip or something. Yeah. We never really did in anything. And the closest we'd ever get was when they'd like deploy like the troikas and they'd have to load them up. And that was really it.
I really loved the duel between Gideon and Din. I thought it was very well done. I mean, it was very obvious what Gideon was going to do. Like, it's not like, oh, shocker, he got attacked. But I love when Gideon's doing his bad guy monologue thing, and Din's just sort of like, what are we doing here? Enough.
The line where he said, first of all, assume I know everything was awesome.
Yeah.
That was really good. Everyone was good in this episode. Everyone was like fantastically acting in this episode.
I think that Peyton Reed, for what a lot of people thought was an underwhelming choice to direct this episode, especially after the Frog Lady and Spiders episode that a lot of people were kind of in on. I thought he knocked it out of the park. I thought he was fantastic. I like the duel, too, between Mando and Gideon because everyone just assumed, oh, Gideon's got the Darksaber. Maybe could he be a Sith? Maybe he's this badass guy. And really, well, he's obviously, tactically smart and, he was part of ISB for a reason, and he's a Moff for a reason. He was rather green in the battle, and to be honest, Mando takes him out relatively easily after being sneak attacked.
He was a lumberjack with an axe.
That's for sure.
It
makes you wonder how the hell he beat Bo-Katan. I'm guessing with help.
I don't know if he
even did.
I don't know if he won it in combat.
I
or
think
if he just
in the
fucking
episode
took it.
they explicitly say that it wasn't necessarily in combat. I think he found the Darksaber.
I was going to say, at this point, are we assuming he procured it on the Siege of Mandalore? Like in the post Clone Wars era?
He'd have to, because Bo-Katan would rip that guy a new one.
That was his thing, right? He was a big part of the Siege of Mandalore, wasn't he? Like, they've said that was his garrison or whatever?
Well, the Siege of Mandalore was the Clone Wars.
No, but I'm referring to the decimation of Mandalore, like the destruction
the Night of 1,000 Years is what he says.
There were so many callbacks, if you're a Game of Thrones fan too, in this episode to Pedro Pascal's time in Game of Thrones. You have the battle with the mountain where he gets his head crushed while the Dark Trooper just nonstop starts trying to pound his head. And I'm like, oh, well, only if he had a helmet before. And then the battle with the spear versus the Darksaber. It was the footwork and a lot of the spin movements he had and kicking the spear back up to be on the attack. Really some tactical Game of Thrones callbacks there. But honestly, my favorite part in this middle area here, guys, was the storytelling that they did through action where you only get one Dark Trooper escape. And legitimately, it could have killed Din. Like, it was a close battle. Din got really lucky. And obviously, the reason for this is to set the table for what happens later. Mm-hmm. But I at the time, I was thinking, oh, my God. all the hype of the Dark Troopers, and they just all went out the airlock. What did everybody think of the middle act?
Well, I mean, I wasn't necessarily expecting the Dark Troopers to come back, but I mean, I kind of foresaw that event, like them being ejected out of the air. I expected the alien effect, right? That's, when you eject the enemy out into space. And I'm like, okay, they're, something's going to happen. Like, that's not it. But you see the one get through, and it's like, Dan, and he just beats the crap out of Din. Like, he is just hammering on him. And, of course, Din's like, he's got nothing. He doesn't have his blaster. All he's got is his flamethrower and the stinging bees, like
which did nothing.
I can never remember the name of those things, like the actual name of them. The wrist rocket thing, like the
whistling
birds.
Whistling birds.
Yeah,
yep.
whistling birds. And it's like, that's absolutely nothing. But I mean, of course, I was paying attention, so I knew where the fight was going to end up because I have this thing called spatial awareness where you see where the spear gets thrown. So it's like you kind of assume that's where the battle is going to end up, which of course it did, and then. And you go online later, and people are like, "Where did the spear come from? Where did the spear come from? It wasn't there." Like, well, no, he threw him at it, and that's where he ended up.
So throwing the Dark Troopers out of the airlock was really a sign, and you said this basically, Johnny, that something bigger was going to happen later. But you really didn't know what that was going to be. I mean, at that point in the episode, you're still kind of glued to the screen, like, when's he going to get the Grogu? What's going to be waiting? Is Gideon going to be waiting? And then you're thinking Gideon's going to be the climax of this episode, basically. But that's not the case. Not even a little bit. The battle was fierce. It was short. It was a calculated blow or set of exchanges. And it was fantastic. Just
they worked hard to establish the badassery of the Dark Trooper.
Yep. Well, and with the battle, like Din beating Moff Gideon, fairly handily after an opening salvo by Gideon. I think as well, like. A lot of that is because this is an important thing for Din, right? We see Din kind of go back and forth between being like pretty badass in a fight and sometimes just relying on his armor to save him. But like this is both. He just saw Grogu, like have the Darksaber beside him and probably really got his adrenaline going. And this was an important fight, so that's probably why I won it so easily. And after the beginning when he had to block a lot of lightsaber shots, which, I mean, he probably had to hope that his armor would, like, I mean, that, lightsaber can only cut through Beskar after a bit or whatever, or like,
the only thing that
you're still, when you hold up your arm to a lightsaber, you're still probably like, oh fuck, I hope this works. And I think after he, thought like, okay, good, my armor's good. He's like, let's fuck him up now.
The only thing that truly shocked me in that was that the jetpack is pure Beskar too. I didn't expect that.
I kind of figured that. I don't know.
I thought it was.
His is completely chrome metal, right? It's not
but it's not hard to chrome non-Beskar.
Yeah. No, but I mean, like,
I wasn't expecting it to be pure Beskar.
Everything's that shiny metal that's not vibrating now. I just assume is Beskar now. It's like as long as it's not vibrating like the fucking.
Well, I was expecting the jetpack to like get destroyed. Like that's what I was expecting because it made sense. Like the suit of armor is pure Beskar, but are they going to waste Beskar on a jetpack? It's a periphery item that they,
Yeah, but I don't think any of that is like it's a religion. They make their armor out of Beskar. I'm sure if he didn't have one, like I think if you don't have one made out of Beskar, you don't have one. I'm pretty sure that's the way it is.
That would make sense because they did make a big deal about the jetpack and him not having one in season 1 and finally getting one was a big deal. So, I mean, I guess
Boba Fett's jetpack wouldn't have been Beskar based.
Yeah, but Boba Fett wasn't technically a Mandalorian, so he could have been copying it, right?
Thane, why don't you close us out on this middle act, man?
This is where things started to get worse for me. I still think it was mostly good, but there were things that bugged me. So the good stuff was pretty much what everyone mentioned. But this is where the fighting kind of stopped making sense. first there's the part with Cara Dune in the hallway when she throws away her gun and starts fighting those guys like melee. There's a couple guys that are like a foot away from her, shooting right past her at the other people, at Fennec and whoever's there with them. I guess the other two Mandalorians. And they don't shoot at Cara Dune when they have a very clear shot more than once, which was kind of weird. But
why?
That didn't bug me.
Why is that
much
weird?
I feel like that because she's right next to them.
They're stormtroopers.
Yeah, but they're people. They're not like
they're droids.
What? No, they're not.
No, they were fighting.
Are we talking about the stormtroopers? Or are we talking about the dark troopers?
No, the stormtroopers.
Okay, I thought we were talking. Like I thought we were at the middle part here.
No,
dark troopers in the hallway.
He's talking about when they were at the troopers.
Yeah. So it bugged me, but it wasn't that bad because that kind of thing does happen a lot, and it was the same as the Boba thing.
Well, again, I think that's just target priority.
I think just stormtroopers suck and clone troopers were way better.
I think they're prioritizing the ones in the armor because they're going to be harder to kill.
You should prioritize the one that's easy to kill so they're dead and you don't have to worry about them, and then you can focus on the one in the armor.
Have you ever played an RPG game?
Can I be honest here for a second, though?
You should know how to fight.
This is not a shot at Thaden. Sort of interject here. This is a shot at it's not even really a shot. It's just a piece of advice for people out there, and this is coming from a guy who, and you guys think I'm bad on The Last Jedi now. I really have like sort of taken the high ground. I was a guest on someone else's podcast last night, and where I think someone brought up, well, maybe the sequels will be overwritten one day. And I said, fuck no. You know, they might not be my favorite movies, but guess what? They're here to stay, whether you like it or not. So get used to it. And it's just like, I think if we pick it apart, every little detail, like I've seen people complaining, oh, well, why didn't the Dark Troopers hit Luke? And it's just like, Luke's a badass. Yeah. He's literally.
If Kylo Ren can freeze blaster bolts, so can Luke.
And again, Thaden, not you, but there's literally people saying that this episode's bad, and for this reason,
it's definitely not bad.
And it's just like you're never gonna enjoy anything Star Wars if this is what you're gonna do.
The people who think that this is bad are the people who are really just upset that like Ezra didn't show up, and then they're just like, well, it was also bad for all these other reasons, and like I pick apart the fighting all the time, and I didn't see it this time, so I often pick apart like fighting in movies, fighting and stuff.
It's okay to not.
I mean, it's okay, but like stormtroopers are like
yeah.
It's also factual that those stormtroopers were probably aiming at Carr, but they just kept hitting.
Yeah, stormtroopers are like James Bond villains, right? Like, you can't watch a James Bond movie and be like, why didn't they shoot him? Like, because then they would have killed him and then it's over. Like, they're just bad shots forever. It doesn't matter if they're from Russia or Greece or Germany or wherever he is that day.
The stormtroopers can't hit until they stop being cloned, so let's assume these are
But
still
anyways,
clones.
let's let Thaden continue on.
Sorry, Thaden, that's my bad. Just I couldn't believe people were saying that the episode was bad just because of that.
Yeah. I want to emphasize, I don't think this episode is bad. I didn't love it as much as I wanted to, but like a lot of people do, and it's definitely good. It has lots of good in it. Everyone already talked about the good stuff, so I'm going to talk about the stuff that made me not so hot on it. The other part of this was the Dark Troopers and then Gideon, and that didn't really do it for me either, which was kind of a bummer, because as soon as I saw that door with the Dark Troopers opening, I was like, okay, he's going to try and close it. And then one's going to get through. And then he tries and close it. And then one gets through. And then it's like, okay, you're going to get rid of the rest of them. I didn't think it would be an airlock, but I figured they were out for a bit and they were going to come back later. And then as soon as they go flying out the airlock, I was like, yep, like, so they're coming back later. You're not just going to get rid of this many big bad guys after establishing them as threatening. So really that was more just, I had an issue with how predictable it felt to me. But like you guys said you didn't notice that, or like you didn't think of that specifically with the Dark Troopers, or like not right away or not as certain, which is like, it must have done a good enough job at it. Like it didn't work for me for whatever reasons it didn't, but it's good that it worked for some people. And then there was like, I think I didn't love the direction because it lasted too long on a couple things. Like in the fight with the Dark Trooper, he punches his head like 7 times or something. And I get that it's supposed to be like threatening, but he punches so slowly, and then Din eventually just stops doing anything and just keeps getting punched. And like when that happens, I was like, oh, okay, are we just waiting for someone else to intervene? And it like took me out of the moment. So I had like a couple just things that pulled me out a little bit, which I think that never helps me with a movie. If I'm thinking, or a show, if I'm thinking about how it was made, or like this is lasting too long, then it messes up the stuff coming afterwards for me too. And then after that was the Gideon fight. And it was mostly pretty good, but then again there was another thing that was like kind of weird, and it felt like, why didn't Gideon just stab Mando in the back, like just cut his leg off or something? He doesn't have armor around his entire leg or something like that. Or when Mando pushes him back with the spear and Gideon just holds the saber to his side, completely not moving it, like for seemingly no reason, instead of just slashing at him, which would have maybe cut off a limb or at least stopped him. I don't know. So yeah, basically this is where most of my issues came with this episode, was just like little things that I was out of the moment, so I was looking at stuff like this, so I noticed it and started feeling nitpicky. But I'm sure there is stuff like this in other Star Wars stuff. It's not like it makes the episode crap. It's just it bugged me.
I get what you're saying with that, just because like it always bothered me in Attack of the Clones when Anakin's fighting Dooku, right before he like gets his arm cut off. It's like he just sort of freezes there for a second, like, hey, cut this arm off right here. Yeah. I don't need it. I have a jacking off problem.
Like it pulls you out just a little bit, but I don't know. For me, I think it was just because a couple things happened in a row, and then like I was out of it by after that.
Yeah, see, that's.
But I mean,
I get that, because I didn't have almost any problems with this episode, but I normally am pretty critical of I think almost every episode so far, even the ones I liked. But I was sitting there just going like, the whole time. Like I was just like, I was pulled in the whole time. I think the episode lasted 2 minutes for me in my head. Like when it was over, I was like, fuck, what the hell happened there? So I didn't notice those things that I normally notice
to happen.
Because I normally do nitpick all the fighting all the time. So
I also kind of chalk it up to, I think, this myth that was created that Gideon can be this bad, and he can be a badass in a way, but he's obviously not a badass when it comes to combat, because
he's not a doer.
He's definitely a thinker. He's more of a psychological fighter than anything. Let's dive into the last act, guys, where 90% of Star Wars fans blew their loads over their couches and on their TVs or tablets or computers. It was a stargasm. It was something. So, look, we've talked about on previous episodes here on the Fandom Empire YouTube channel about, is it Ezra? Is it Luke? Is it Cal Kestis? Could it be Mace Windu returning? And I'm not tooting my own horn here, but I feel like with how badass they made the call for Grogu on Tython, it made me think, like, okay, there's no way Luke fucking Skywalker, if he's obtained any level at this point, does not hear that call. Maybe he's not the one that answers, but he's got to hear it at the very least. And we see the X-Wing, and I feel like I knew at the X-Wing. I don't know about the rest of you guys.
Who didn't? Like, who else could?
There's a lot of people that didn't know because they thought it could be still Cal Kestis or Ezra. I seen some jokes of, oh, hey, it's Trapper Wolf, or hey, it's Carson Teva.
It's Jack Porkins.
And then there was a few people that I noticed when Cardoon says, one X-Wing were saved, thought that maybe like a rogue squadron of X-Wings were going to come in after that. And but no, we get Luke Skywalker in all of his glory. I'll let you guys pick apart tactically what happened. I just want to say this, and I told this story on IPC last night, is I grew up like Johnny did and like Kieran did and maybe even like Tommy did. I don't know how. Tommy, did you grow up with the OT or the prequels? Like, what were...
I wore a set of special edition VHSs out with my family's VCR before I saw the prequels in theaters.
Yeah, so I mean, I grew up with.
So I grew up with the OT, not in '70s. I'm not that old, but I grew up with the OT before the prequels.
I remember hearing before the special editions came out that there was going to be a prequel trilogy. At first, people were saying it was going to be about Luke Skywalker, but it wasn't. It was about Anakin Skywalker. So, I sat with the original trilogy for a really long time, and I remember playing with my Star Wars action figures and crafting stories, and I noticed myself legit, I have no problem saying it, guys. I was crying. Not but tears were coming down my face, and I didn't even realize it. And I've seen the episode 3 times, and I've watched a bunch of reactions to it. And I think the thing that got to me that I just forgot about because it was so long ago is when I was a kid, I always dreamed about what did, Jedi Knight Luke Skywalker do after Return of the Jedi? And we have the Legends material, and we're going to cover Heir to the Empire, and that's great, whether you're reading it or listening to the audiobooks, whether it's Heir to the Empire, the Thrawn Trilogy, the Duology, New Jedi Order, whatever. It's different than seeing something visually in a movie or a TV show. It just is. And I think it was just this shocking moment for me that it was and it didn't matter if the CG was kind of or it wasn't Sebastian Stan or another actor. At the end of the day, I just appreciated it for what it was. And I think it hit me because it's I'd legitimately forgotten because it'd been decades that, I wanted this as a kid so fucking bad. But you guys, especially Johnny and Tommy, for years have heard me, give me Kenobi or, give me more with Thrawn or Revan or whatever. And Jedi Knight Luke Skywalker, although it bugged me in The Last Jedi how he was, I do think this boosts Last Jedi up, actually. I don't think it knocks it down like a lot of people are saying. I think it actually gives you a better idea of why he's that way in The Last Jedi. But for me, I'd forgotten how much I loved Luke Skywalker as a kid and wanting to see what he did next. And even now, just I could load a reaction right now, guys, of anybody watching that part. And while I might not tear up anymore, you get the goosebumps and the butterflies in the heart. And it was amazing. Kieran, what did you think of, you can get all tactical too if you want, but just what were your thoughts on how this ended?
I only had one issue with it. I mean, I did kind of have an issue with the CG face thing, but I just watched it again, and the second watch around, I thought it was fine. The only thing I had a problem with, I really loved all the fighting against the Dark Troopers. I thought he was very... I thought he was like Luke. He was definitely moving like Luke Skywalker because he was swinging hard at them. He wasn't artful with it, but he was also swinging hard and then moving really gracefully into different transitions and blocking shots and stuff, which is what Luke Skywalker is to me, is because he, came close to being in the dark side and then rejected it. And I think he's the kind of Jedi or Force user who can, be a badass and swing the lightsaber and, destroy people, but also keep from being in the dark side. Which brings me to the next point that I didn't like. I didn't like when he crushed the trooper because I felt like it was a show of strength and he could have just slashed the guy's head off. It's not something he needed to do. And obviously he wasn't showing off for anyone because there was no one there. It was definitely just a part they added in so that he could do something cooler. But
I thought it was shades of Anakin.
It didn't feel like Luke to me, or at least how I picture Luke. I didn't have a big problem with it. It didn't ruin anything for me. But right when he did that and he crushed him, I was like, that's not... I wish he would have just chopped that guy's head off. But other than that, it was awesome. It was very well... I thought it was very well planned out. And... in the ending scene, I really I love Moff Gideon being like, you have to defeat him for it now. The smile on his face was awesome.
So smug.
Yeah, he was so much you know what? It's smart. That really brings us back to how smart he is, because it didn't matter whether he won or lost that fight. As long as he stayed alive, he really won, because he's like, yeah, you beat me, but now you got the Darksaber. So now I don't have Bo-Katan coming after me now. Now she's going to come after you. So he didn't. And I mean, even if you don't think she's going to come after him, now she has no reason to go after Gideon. So, and at this point, he still thought the Dark Troopers were going to come in and save him. So he didn't think he was going to jail or anything. I love that scene, and on the second watch through, I really liked the Luke part at the end, and obviously, Din taking off his helmet was awesome. I saw some person online being pissed off that he took his helmet. He's like, "There's no reason. That's bad writing," and blah blah blah.
Oh
and
my
like,
God!
You know what?
Must not be apparent.
The friggin' baby reached out, touched his helmet, so he took his helmet off. Like, and it was very emotional and very awesome. That guy probably that guy was probably just like angry at himself that he cried. He's like, "I'm too badly to cry. This episode sucks."
I must be crying because it's terrible.
Yeah, yeah. But yeah, no, I thought it was awesome. I really didn't have very much problems other than Luke crushing that trooper, and that was like, it was not really a big deal. So that was my thoughts.
Johnny, try to keep it a little brief here.
I mean, I think you're right about Luke crushing that trooper. It felt very dark for Luke. Like, there was no point to that for me. Like, he's sitting here showing off his mastery of the Force in much more appropriate ways for a Jedi. You know, he's tossing them around like rag dolls and, you know, slashing and bashing and slicing and dicing, and then all of a sudden he just crushes this one. Like,
can I just say this though? And you guys know I don't like this movie, but I think it adds to it is Luke's a human being at the end of the day. He's not perfect, even though he's obviously riding a high horse right now and very confident. The dude almost kills his nephew. Or at least he has a thought of killing his nephew in his fucking sleep, of all things, too. So for him to crush a Dark Trooper, it's kind of like, yeah, he's not flawless and he's not perfect, and maybe his line's not where some other people's lines are. And I like the idea that Luke's not this embodiment of perfect. And
that's pretty fair.
I can't believe I'm saying this. It really did enhance The Last Jedi for me more, and I didn't think that was possible. Sorry, Johnny, go ahead.
Well, I mean, I think that's something that we talk about more in a different context, because I don't necessarily compare the two. You know, I can see where you're coming from when you say that, but I don't. But it just felt like a very dark thing to do. Like, I mean, I think you said it when you said that it was a very Anakin thing to do, and it was. It wasn't a Luke thing. You know, push him around like he was doing, but crushing it like that was just unnecessary. And, I mean, I don't necessarily disagree that he wasn't doing it for an audience. Luke knew they were watching. I think he absolutely knew they were watching, or had a way to be watching. Like, he obviously was sort of communicating with Grogu by that point. I imagine that he knew they were seeing what he was doing, so he was showing off his mastery of the Force to prove he, I guess, had the qualifications. You know, that was his interview with Din, to a certain degree. You know, proving he's a Jedi and strong in the Force, and
this is true,
has the capabilities to train Grogu. So that's how I thought of that. But crushing that Darksaber seemed unnecessary in a dark way. Like, it showed that bit of darkness, which I don't know if that was his intent, to like kind of show that, you know, it's not just one way or another way. But no, I enjoyed all of it. You know, there were definitely tears, you know, but for me it wasn't when Luke showed up. But that was, you know, it was, an amazing moment when you see, you know, him come through and, you know, remove the hood, and you actually see the face, and it's like, my immediate response was, damn, where did the budget go? or that's where the budget went.
In fairness to them, though, now that we have more information on it, it wasn't a deep fake. It was de-aging. While Max Lloyd-Jones did all the lightsaber stunts, Mark Hamill was not only on set, he was in costume, too. If you look at a lot of those shots where he's walking, and when he's walking down the hallway, except for the one where he comes through the fog there at the end, a lot of the shots are from behind, other than his Vader Rogue One moment. So the idea that Mark Hamill was on set, and we're probably going to get to see this in the upcoming gallery, is just, number one, it did get spoiled, which is shocking.
That was my second response.
Utterly shocking. And number two, he did the voice. Yeah. So, like, kudos to Mark fucking Hamill. He got his moment now. Now maybe he can let go of The Last Jedi like the rest of us can. And
it just makes it so much more awesome when, you know, here he has been for so long, like, yeah, I'm not going to play Luke again. I'm not going to be Luke again. And here he is. Like, even in the last year, he's just completely trolling Twitter. And it is the most Mark Hamill thing to do, to completely troll Twitter and be like, yeah, I'm not doing it again. And make us believe it. While all the while having filmed this episode and have it sit in the can and be like, man, they're going to go ape shit when they see this. I hate Luke Skywalker and I'll never play him again. But, oh, man, next year when you see that episode of The Mandalorian and you see my face, you're going to love it.
I'm fairly sure he said he wasn't going to play the Joker ever again, like 3 or 4 times.
He did, yeah.
Yeah, but I mean, I think the difference was that he kind of ham-fisted that by saying he'll never play the Joker again unless Kevin Conroy is playing Batman.
All right.
So, I mean, he kind of, like, did that little handshake. Like, I'll still do it if Kevin's there because he's awesome. But if Kevin's not there, I'm not there. And he stuck to that.
Thaden, what were your thoughts?
So there's again a little bit of issues. I'll get that out of the way.
Yep.
It's just during the hallway scene. I watched it again. That is the only part that has anything that bugs me. And basically the issue is that there's just too many Dark Troopers. So him not getting shot looks a little weird sometimes. And that's pretty much it. Other than that, seeing that X-Wing show up was like, I saw it and I wasn't thinking about who the Jedi was at this point. I was in the episode at that point. It was good. And then Cara Dune says like, oh good, 1 X-Wing. And I was like, oh, wait, like, oh my God, is it Luke? And then, yeah, it's Luke. And he comes out and he does some pretty badass lightsaber stuff. It looks really good. And even with the hallway thing that I have like that kind of issue with, like I think that exists in the Darth Vader scene too. I think there's a couple times where it's like they should have shot him and they don't, which is like, yeah, whatever. I think I was just thinking about it too much this time, whereas in Rogue One I wasn't by that point. And like Kieran mentioned before Luke shows up, the Moff Gideon thing, which is really cool how when he attacks Mando, it's basically like, okay, now you are going to kill me or you're going to spare me. Before, Bo-Katan was going to kill me or I would surrender and she'd spare me. So he's in the same boat there. And if he gets spared, then he's totally safe. He has no one after her anymore. Whereas if Bo-Katan spared him, then Mando might still be after him. And now it's kind of just done. It was a genius way to do it, so it didn't matter if he won or lost the fight, because either way, he's done with his enemies in at least some way. Because if he beat Mando, he could have just left. Yeah, man, it was so smart.
It was so crazy. And look, I just want everybody to know we're gonna get to Tommy's thoughts here in a second. The first episode back from the break is January the 5th, and we're gonna dive into this episode more and give it more time because it deserves more time than what we had here this evening. And then January the 12th is going to be our review of Heir to the Empire, the audiobook. But Tommy, I want to go back to you. You're a Star Wars fan for a long time. Just what were your feelings seeing this last act go down, man?
So, watching the X-Wing pull.
Were there tears?
Watching the bits, no tears. I'm not really, but I was definitely glued to the TV. I'm watching it, and I could just see there's going to be something pulling up. There's going to be someone showing up here, and single X-Wing. And I don't know if it's my attachment to just the fact that Luke pretty much always hung on to an X-Wing of some sorts or another throughout the EU, the Legends universe, or what have you. But that was a dead giveaway right there. Like, it's him. It's him. That's what went through my mind. And you're watching him pull it. You got the coming through the. Was it an elevator he came down? I forget. Yeah.
At the end,
so
yeah.
It parallels the Rogue One scene with Vader in that regard, and he just goes ham on all the Dark Troopers, taking them down like they're nothing. And yeah, there was some exhibitionism to it, but part of that I think was just fan service, giving the fans what they've wanted to see on screen in some capacity for many years at this point. To me, this is closer to the Luke Skywalker of the EU than we've ever gotten before, post Return of the Jedi. And the emotion as you go forward further into the scene, and you see Grogu saying goodbye to Din, and Din just takes off the helmet like it's nothing, and you see that the emotion in there, and the crew behind him never actually turn around. He doesn't actually turn around, I don't think, and sees them like that. But just by doing that, he's basically stepped away from the helmet rule. I mean, I'm not saying that he's going to be out of it forever. I by no means think that, but I really think this moment is a real transition in his adhering to that practice. And as far as the Darksaber goes, with Bo-Katan and such, I've been thinking about it, and obviously I do not expect any kind of battle to the death between those two because they're friends. And some could say maybe eventually there could be, a ship, as you had referenced earlier. But I don't know if it would go anywhere. In fact, I'm half inclined to think we could see Bo-Katan die first in some way or another. The steps they took here have really put Din Djarin on track to being the next Mandalore, which is something I've argued for a while. Maybe before this season premiered. I don't know how long. Maybe that's a direction this show will go. Is this definite at this point? Absolutely not. They can pivot and go another direction. They can still have Bo-Katan be, the next ruler of Mandalore, the next Mandalore, whatever, if they want to use the title or not. They can bring someone else in and do it. We could see the Armorer again, and maybe she'll do it.
There's so many possibilities here, man, of what...
yeah, and we have all the time in the world, hopefully.
Apparently more than we bargained for.
Disney canceling this show anytime soon.
No. Quickly, guys, I know there's so much we could talk about. We got to get to Death Watch, and we need at least 15 minutes for that. I got rapid fire. Your guys' answers can't last longer than 5 seconds or one words. Okay. Grogu in season 3, yay or nay? Johnny?
Yay.
Thaden?
The show can't exist without him, so yay.
I'm yay too. They're not getting rid of him. Not a chance. Tommy?
Second half, if not end. Yes.
Yeah. Kieran?
Nay.
Nay? Here's my thought, just really briefly. This is what I said on IPC last night. We're all Star Wars fans, right? We're all watching this show because we're Star Wars fans. Shocker, right? Breaking news. However, there is a mass amount of audience that Star Wars has inherited from this that is just watching because of Grogu, and that has never happened in Star Wars before, period. Sorry, it just hasn't. Yeah. The numbers are absolutely insane. This character's going, well, the character might take a little bit of a vacation next season, might pop up on another show, but...
I'd say that is descriptive of everything, but this is the largest influx of
it's not even close. It's not even
since
close.
Since 77.
Well, yeah, if you take away 77, then yeah,
but I'm
it's
saying
not close.
since 77, this is the largest amount of people who aren't attracted from the OTs or the prequels or anything like that, just from something brand new that have no interest in Star Wars, and this is them being brought in.
Most will check out without him.
I'm sure George was hanging out in cafes in 76 going like, guys, I got a really good idea. You're going to love it. So I'm sure lots of people knew about it before then, but...
all right, Luke Skywalker series, yay or nay? And this is not if you want it to happen. Do you think it's going to happen, Johnny?
Nay.
Thaden?
I would like it, but nay.
Tommy?
Not yet.
Kieran?
I think we've got time.
I think it's going to be a book.
Yeah, I'm nay either. I think it would make a great series. I think it'd be probably their highest watch series if they did Luke or Goku.
Whoa.
Luke and Goku.
What crossover is this?
Shit.
No, so if it would have been a different actor that showed up at the end, then I would have been like, yeah, but they're not doing a full series with CG Mark Hamill. It's just not happening.
Too expensive.
Book of Boba Fett. Are we excited? Johnny?
Yay.
Thaden?
Somewhat yay.
Tommy?
dumb question.
I'm excited for it, but I wish we were getting Mando season 3 first. Kieran.
Yay.
Wow.
You're taking this New Year's resolution thing a little far, buddy.
It's more Star Wars, and it might have some other characters that I'm interested in.
All right, Mandalorian season 3. Do we see it by spring 2022, Johnny?
Yes.
Thaden.
Yes.
Tommy.
Okay.
I don't understand this.
Oh my
I
God.
gotta tell you, and we're not talking about it.
But
Yeah,
you're
no.
talking about it.
What?
What the hell happened? They like backstepped on it.
No,
they
they
said
just
December
don't.
2021.
No, Kathleen Kennedy for the 10 billionth time misspoke. Shocker.
Yeah, I know.
Yay
I
or nay?
saw this. It came out.
Even
in, like,
Jon
a press
Favreau
kit
said
or
yesterday
something.
morning, he's like, yeah, she probably should have been more upfront with what we were doing. And she meant she's not great with that sort of thing. She's a great producer, but not great with public speaking. Kieran, yay or nay?
Honestly,
What?
I think we're gonna get it in 2022, but I don't. I think it's gonna be
This is-
second half, if
This
not
is Tommy's
fourth
way
quarter.
of making sure I don't get to play.
Kieran,
He's like, I'll be able to win if there's
Kieran,
only
yay
two
or nay?
people. Nay. Yay. I don't know what the question is.
Uh,
Let's play Death Watch.
last question.
I gotta go to work.
I know. Favorite moment of the episode, Johnny?
All of it.
Thaden.
Seeing the Dark Trooper through the door, his face looked really cool.
That was awesome. Tommy.
Gideon and Din fight.
Kieran.
Luke.
Mine was Gideon's reaction to figuring out that it was Luke coming, and he's like, "Oh no!" He tries to almost kill himself. All right, ladies and gentlemen, with that said, it is
Don't
time
even play the drop.
for
Don't
the
play
Death
the
Watch.
drop. No!
All right, here we go. It's Kieran versus Thaden versus Tommy, and we're gonna do things a little differently since this is the last Death Watch episode. Death Watch segment we're doing. January 5th, it's going to be Star Wars Wastelands trivia. So Wastelands is now going to be a segment on the Fandom Empire Star Wars podcast. It's going to be a trivia segment. Maybe we'll bring back dubstep just to piss off Johnny.
God,
and,
no.
So who won last week?
Kieran.
Kieran.
No.
Thaden.
Sorry.
Thaden.
No,
All
I'm
right.
back.
So Thaden, you want to go first, second, or third, and what number?
Second and number between 1 and 10.
So Johnny, I don't think we numbered them. So
We did not. So whatever you want. Just
I'll
tell me
take
which one's
3, and your first one can be 1, your second one
Sure.
can be 2. Which means Kieran last or
Okay, I'm going
last or
2
first.
on both.
2-2 for Thaden. Kieran.
I'll take 1-1.
1-1.
And Tommy
gets 3-3.
Thomas, so that he's me. Okay,
He's you.
gotcha. All right, Kieran, question number 1.
All right, Kieran, question number 1. Your category is movies. Okay, have you got a timer?
Yep.
All right. I would create my own body. While my body is long dead, my mind yet lives on. I would long seek freedom for my kind.
Okay, repeat the question.
I would create my own body. While my body is long dead, my mind yet lives on. I would long seek freedom for my kind.
Multiple choice.
L337, R7B9, HK47, or B166.
L3.
That is correct for 1 point.
All right, Thaden, question number 1.
What category is this?
Well, I'm about to tell you that because we haven't told anyone anything.
What was Kieran's?
Yeah, you didn't tell Kieran that.
Yes, I did.
Mine
This
was
category is
movies.
movies.
He did say
Movies?
it.
Okay.
Okay, I didn't hear.
Thaden, your category is video games. Sorry, pal.
I'm disappointed with all of this. Okay, I know it's video games, not literature, but still, go ahead.
All right, question number 1. I have died in multiple video games. I have appeared on screen in 6 episodic films. I have been portrayed by multiple people.
Fuck. Repeat?
I have died in multiple video games. I have appeared on screen in 6 episodic films. I have been portrayed by multiple people. Who am I?
Multiple choice.
Palpatine, Darth Vader, Luke Skywalker, or
I'm gonna say Chewbacca, but Chewbacca has appeared in more.
That is incorrect. It is old Uncle Palpy.
What video game did he die in?
He was killed in the alternate ending of
Revenge of the Sith. Yep.
And Force Unleashed.
Yep. You're right. Yeah. You're right. All right, Tommy, question number 1 in the category of whatever the hell Johnny says every week.
Literature.
All righty. Tommy.
We actually found out why he says that, so... No, just go on.
All right, here we go. This Theron's going to love the way this is worded. I'm a powerful Force user. I have technically died 3 times in 3 different forms of media. This death takes place in a comic on the planet Tatooine. You got the clock, Johnny?
Yep.
That was Tatooine.
Yes.
10 seconds.
Okay, repeat the question, please.
I'm a powerful Force user. I have technically died 3 times in 3 different forms of media. This death takes place in a comic on the planet Tatooine.
5, 4, 3.
Maul?
That's correct for 2 points.
Wow.
Yep.
Tommy B with the lead and no multiple choice used. Wow.
I'm upset.
Karen, question number 2.
All right, Kieran, question number 2, category movies. Though my appearances were few in number, they were large in impact. My manifesto would be added to Sidious's Book of the Sith. You must love me for helping make Maul whole again. Who am I?
Repeat the question.
Though my appearances were few in number, they were large in impact. My manifesto would be added to Sidious's Book of the Sith. You must love me for helping make Maul whole again.
Mother Talzin?
That is correct.
Okay.
Damn it.
I don't know the one hint. I don't know why.
Kieran takes the lead.
I didn't think about the manifesto part. I was like, that can't be right. Sith?
Nice job, Kieran.
Because she's a Sith witch, I guess.
She's a Knight's sister, but her manifesto is added.
Okay, cool.
Kieran's got to go to work, and we're going to go to overtime. Thaden, question number 2.
All right. Question number 2. This droid did not even leave the shop. It was not the droid you wanted, but the one you were sold. Sometimes the sale model is too good to be true.
Multiple choice.
Are you TOTO, HEMN, T3H8, or TODA?
T3H8.
That is correct for 1 point.
So the score is now 3 for Kieran, 2 for the other 2. Tommy, question number 2 in the category of the here we go.
You need to learn how to say literature.
I appeared in 2 animated series. I had a massive change in the arc of my story. I was later killed in a Star Wars novel in the current Star Wars canon. Who am I?
Asajj Ventress.
That's correct for 2 points. Yep. Oh, wow.
Very good,
hands?
very
Let me see
good.
your hands. Put your hands up.
Wow, Tommy is cleaning house tonight. Karen, make or break here for you, man.
Okay. Question number 3, category of movies and television. I sacrificed my own division during Operation Cinder. I invited Brown Eyes to have a drink with me. I raised a glass. My killer raised his blaster. Who am I?
Repeat the question.
I sacrificed my own division during Operation Cinder. I invited Brown Eyes to have a drink with me. I raised my glass. My killer raised his blaster. Who am I?
Multiple choice.
Are you Richard Brake, Lang, Balin Hess, or Voren Hesker?
The third one.
Balin Hess is correct for 1 point.
I would have never gotten his name, but I know it's
the
from
only
Mando.
name I have heard.
Yeah.
So,
So Kieran ties the game at 4. Thaden, you need 2 points here. You Yeah, well, you don't have multiple choice
I'm
to use
only
anyway.
at one, so I'm
all
already
righty.
out.
Johnny, take it away.
Sorry, pal. I was once a scientist on Ma who rose to the rank of admiral. I created an armor that was resistant to lightsabers. My own suit of armor would vaporize me in the end. Who am I?
Iron Man.
That is
I
incorrect.
can't win anyways. So
No, you could have tied it. You could have tied it there.
I only have one.
You have
I
two.
got one with multiple choice.
Yeah, that's 2 points.
No, he got
Multiple
one
choice?
with multiple choice. That's 1 point. So
I have him down as 1 point in round 1, 1 point in round 2.
No, he answered Chewbacca in round 1, so he didn't get it.
Oh, okay. So,
Okay.
all right. Never mind.
So he had no
So
chance.
Tony Stark.
All right.
It was
Tommy
Gaelic
can-
fire.
Tommy
Gaelic
can
fire.
use his multiple
Tommy
choice.
B can use his multiple choice indeed, and it all comes down to this in the category of
Literature.
I was a character in only Star Wars Legends. I was related to Han Solo. My death happens during Legacy of the Force. Who am I?
Keep your hands up, you motherfucker.
I'd like to point out you're watching him on
It's a
like
tie game right now, and
minute
you have
delay.
multiple choice.
But 5, 4.
I'll take multiple choice.
Is it A, Thal Solo, B, Duran Solo, C, Thraken Thal Solo, or D, Boba Maul Solo?
3, 2.
Rackin'.
That is correct!
Yeah, damn it. I knew that too.
Both of
Tommy-
all would never die.
Tommy B comes in and stuns the powerhouses in what is the last episode that we have the normal Death Watch before switching to a more classic trivia where Death Watch will be just a category. Tommy B with the mic drop to close out the year. Holy shit. We can't do a long outro here. Just want to say thank you to everybody who's tuned in to all the Fandom Empire content in the year 2020. We have so much coming up for you in 2021. Apologies for the abrupt ending to the show, but we all got to go. I just want to say big things ahead. It's going to be a lot of fun. Tune in tomorrow night for our final episode before Christmas anyway. Fandom Empire Live, Dave McRae and myself are going to sit down, talk It's Me, Billy, Haddonfield the Banished, Halloween, and Star Wars. It'll be a fun one. Johnny, where can everybody find you at, man?
You can find me here, there, and everywhere on my Twitter that may or may not be used one day at Fandom_McMahon.
They can probably find you at Pornhub as well.
That was not where I was.
Thaden, where can everybody find you at, man?
You can find me and Kieran on Rogue Sons every Saturday or Sunday on the weekends. We're started up again. We're going to keep recording episodes because we know how to do it remote now because it really wasn't that hard. So, yeah.
Apparently
find us
Skype has a
at
recording
Rogue Sons.
session. I was going to talk to you guys about that. Skype, you can actually record your Skype calls now. Ben Hart told me that last night. By the way, Ben Hart, who has tried to be on here the last few times, haven't been able to sneak him in as a guest competitor. Just wanted to say hi to everybody, and he will see you all in 2021. Kieran, where can everybody see you at?
Yeah, Star Wars, a Rogue Sons of Star Wars podcast. It's on Facebook. We do have a Instagram, but I have not used it so much. It's not been it. But yeah, so other than that, like I said before, just add me then. Hunt me down Facebook, add me. I don't mind having extra friends. I just ditched like 60 people, so.
Tommy B. By the way, guys, when trivia kicks off in the new year, we will be keeping track of the records and posting them on the Facebook group. So,
we don't need to do that dumb shit.
Tommy B, where can everybody find you at, champ?
Catch me hanging out on Facebook. Check out the Fem Empire Den, the channels, official Facebook group, Yippee Yippee. Check out Future of Star Wars, our Star Wars group. Find me on other platforms, Twitter and Instagram at TommyB1650.
And you can check us out on Instagram and Twitter at Fandom Empire Now, and the Facebook group, the Fandom Empire Den, Facebook page, Fandom Empire, and all that good shit. We'll see you guys in the new year, at least for our Star Wars show. Happy holidays. Stay safe. Thank you for the support. And as Luke Skywalker said at the end of this episode, may the Force be with you.